Dan Wolf has been flying planes with Cape Air since the late 1980s. He started the airline with a small crew and over the years has expanded to reach multiple markets and multiple destinations. The latest upgrade is a new off-season service between Hyannis and New York City.
First scheduled service in 1989, but we incorporated in 1988. There were about 6 of us that got it together, flying one airplane between Provincetown and Boston. There's a real rich history there. Here we are almost 30 years later, and it's just been a dream come true. It's been a real blessing. And to grow a business like this here on Cape Cod has just been an extra bonus to the whole thing. It's just been incredible. Cape Air has tried to keep the flavor of a small community-based airline, and of course our home is still here on Cape Cod. But we have a hub in San Juan, we have a hub in Billings, Montana, St. Louis, Missouri. And so we really are all over North America and all over the continent. This is just an extension of that service. We are the largest commuter airline in the United States. We have been for a number of years.
JetBlue's busy summer service between New York City and Cape Cod is an indicator of just how much this area needs transportation alternatives.
There's definitely a demand here between Cape Cod and the islands and New York City. And we're just capturing some of that demand. We've heard it for years. We were able to go to the Department of Transportation. JFK is a slotted airport, so you have to get approved for landing and departure times. We were able to get that, which we've never been able to get in the past for a late morning arrival and departure, and we decided to go for it. I think it's a good year to do it. JetBlue has been there for the summer now. We're doing this with the JetBlue code, which means the connectivity in and out of JFK is going to be really good on Cape Air, and we're really excited to kick off the service.
Wolf says all types of passengers will likely take advantage of the new service.
Well, like so many of our markets, it's going to be a great mix of people who are visitors here, people who are retired wanting to go to New York City, and then people on business. I think there's a real business demand and connection between the Cape and Islands and New York City, and I think it's going to cater to all types and for all reasons.
The flight is also a chance to experience air travel in a different way aboard a small Cessna 402.
We're going to be using the Cessna 402, which is the same airplane that we've been operating here for the last 30 years or so. And so that's going to be the mainstay of that service, just like it has for all the other routes around the Cape and Islands. Well, I still love to fly as a pilot for Cape Air, and I still do it on the weekends in the summer. But this week when I was out in the Midwest, I actually was a passenger, and I flew in the last row on a Cape Air flight from Decatur, Illinois to Chicago. And the experience of flying on a Cape Air flight really is like no other in the airline industry. You're there, you get to see everything. It's a great sightseeing ride. So those folks who are flying from Hyannis through Nantucket to New York City are going to get to see the whole thing and be part of the experience. And that really will be part of the fun of the trip.
This new service just adds to the array of transportation options available in Hyannis and, of course, is expected to be good for the local economy.
I was out in the Midwest this week visiting Decatur, Illinois, which is one of our destinations in the Midwest. And what I said to them, and it really rings true, imagine some of those Midwest cities, St. Louis or Kansas City, where the railroad didn't stop and they wouldn't be cities. Transportation hubs and transportation nodes are really the epicenter of economic development and vibrant communities as well. It's not just the economic development, but people like to settle where they have access to go around the world and where the world has access to come in and visit them. So vibrant airports and air transportation really are today what the railroads were 100 years ago. If you could get an airport with scheduled air service, it really can help define the community.
Cape Air's new service between Barnstable Municipal Airport in Hyannis and New York City's JFK Airport begins on October 23rd. For Cape Media News, I'm Sarah Colvin.